Pat, maybe start us off with a matchup for this week. Got Laurier.
Yeah, I think that Laurier is going to be rebounding from, a little bit of a punch in the stomach there last week. I don't think anybody saw that one coming. After watching the film, full credit to the University of Windsor. I thought they played very inspired football, and Laurier actually played quite well. They had 40 points in the game. Normally, that's enough to win. They're very athletic. I think that, fortunately or unfortunately, football fans in Kingston are going to get a chance to see probably 3 of the top athletes that we're going to play against this year. Number 17, Saman, Chaumont Chambers, just excellent, looks like an NFL player, big time speed, big time size, great returner. And then this new fellow, Odom, radiate, also very, very fast, good returner also. And of course, I believe the premier return player in the country is Dylan Heap. He'd be a 5th-year player now. He just has that knack of finding the crease and accelerating at the right time. He's also a very competent and dangerous receiver. The quarterback there, Kelly, is a transfer from the Ivy League. I believe he played at Columbia, and he's up at Laurier doing his MBA, if I'm not mistaken. They've had some graduation on the offensive line. And then their defense is pesky enough. They've got, they play a lot of man coverage, and any team that plays as much man as they do so because they believe they can cover. So they've got good athletes in the secondary. They've got a formidable front, solid linebacking core. So, we have a solid opponent to face this week. I think really for us it's a 2-pronged challenge, and that's that we've got to overcome the enemy within. I think that we need to play to our potential now. In both of our early season losses, we've had an explosion play on offense. We had a screen pass go for a touchdown. We had a sack fumble inside the 20-yard line. Both plays resulted in scores. Basically putting the defense in the right. One, the defense couldn't do anything to stop it because they were on the sideline. And the other, we send the defense out there in very tough conditions to defend, bad field. In both games, we've given up at least 1 explosion play. So I think that although our defense has played well overall, they've allowed less than 20 points in both games. They can still play better. And I think our special teams play has also left quite a bit to be desired. We're 1 for 5 in field goals. I think we've allowed a big return or a reasonable return in both games. So we've got our work cut out for us within. I think the whole idea is just to improve as a football team, not make any big play errors, and we should be able to hang with anybody if we do that. So.
All right, thanks, Pat. Open up for questions from the floor.
You talked about their returners. How do you practice going against dangerous guys like that?
Well, the first thing is you have to put everybody on alert. I mean, we had a fairly dangerous return game ourselves not so long ago, and you're very aware of what that brings to the ball game. It can tip the field. You get hemmed in. Your guy runs out of there, gets the ball back to midfield at the 40-yard line. Just gets you out of a lot of jams, plus the threat to blow the game wide open. When you've got some momentum and then you get a big kick return, that just puts the weight of the world on your shoulders, and it can really hurt you. So you heighten everybody's sensitivity to it. Everybody has to be in tune. The special teams are extremely important. Obviously, we have to have a kick strategy if we hit DEFCON 5, where they've got, our return scheme put in there that is becoming very effective. We'll have to do our best to keep it away from those returners. The fact of the matter is they've got 2 of them back there, so both are very dangerous. I'm sure that they are prepared for the inevitability of kicking away from one. It's a unique situation to have 2 returners of that, caliber on the same team. So we got to be very, very smart. We got to manage the field extremely well, and we got to be proficient there.
Coach, how important is a win this weekend?
Well, I think it's really important. With each passing week, you have, your end spot in the tournament, which is the regular season, becomes a little bit more difficult to overcome. So, you lose 3 games. The best you can do is finish in the middle of the pack. you know, you're losing hope that, you know, you'd be able to secure, although it's not mathematically impossible, you know, you're losing hope for a home playoff game, which everybody wants to get. So for us, I'm afraid we can't think about the long-term objectives at the moment, even though people are inclined to do so. For us, the goals have to be, you know, short-term. They need to be immediate. There's things that need to be fixed here. If we're going to win this football game, it's going to be because we played error-free offense, we played solid defense, and we were very good on special teams. That's the formula. So, not to commit an error on offense that puts us in the hole. It causes everybody to lose confidence, and it can really slow down your momentum. So, a win this weekend would be very important.
Coach, how do you read the team? Obviously, you're not where you want to be. You know, is it snake bit or?
Not really. Listen, football is a great parallel for life. Respect is earned, okay? There's been opportunities to make plays that have been missed, all right? We've been, you know, inches away from a big play sack, or inches away from batting the ball down, inches away from scoring on a deep ball up the field. But, you know, until you actually make the play and prove to yourself that you can do it, you know, it's not going to get done. So, you know, I think that we're young, and in some spots we're still coming together. We will be there by the end of the season. There's no question about it. We will be a very difficult team to contend with at the end of the year. But, you know, obviously when you hit week 3, you know, time is moving on and you need to see some progress. So that's what we need to establish this week. We need to go out and have a good game and let the chips fall where they may.
Anything else?
What did you see in practice this week?
Well, I certainly saw an inspired effort. You know, one of the things that when you get into the first day of class, or the first week of class, life on the football team changes because, you know, for the previous 3 weeks you've had basically the entire time that the players are on campus has been devoted to football pursuits, okay? And now you're going to have, you know, where football is one of the things that you contend with, you know, in your daily routine. So that's, I don't want to look at the academics as a distraction. I don't think anybody would want to hear that because they are here to get a university education. But there's no question that time management, time on task, time to watch film, time to evaluate, time to recuperate, rehydrate, all of that is now challenged. So, but I did see an inspired effort from our team. I mean, the effort is there. You know, they're a proud bunch. They don't like losing. They want to do something about it, and that's very, very evident. We've had a good week of practice so far. We're going to turn a page in Queens football as of this evening, and we're going to move to our new practice facility this evening. It's going to open, and we'll be on the artificial surface, and the players are quite excited about it. You know, first time on the turf, everybody feels fast, and I'm hoping that we'll go out there and have a real, you know, spark, and have a real, you know, exciting practice, and really get ready for Saturday.
Are there any injuries right now?
I think at this point in the season, by the time you hit there, there's some guys have got some bumps and bruises. Okay, usually, you know, it's till Friday afternoon before you can confirm whether they're, you know, able to play or not. So, I'm afraid I'm not able to comment on that at the moment. There's still some guys that are sort of in the gray area, but not completely ruled out for